This is Ybor City in Tampa, Florida. This street, the main avenue here, is East 7th Avenue, and I'm heading from North 20th Street down towards North 19th Street. And this stretch of bars and clubs goes for about 7 or 8 blocks, so about North 14th Street, something like that. This area is ground zero for nightlife in Tampa. Now, there's other bars and clubs, but they're not concentrated in one spot like in Ybor City. This area definitely skews towards a younger college age crowd, though. That may be changing with some new construction of apartments, newer upscale restaurants, comedy club. But right now, it's still a pretty young crowd, but there seems to be a little something for everybody of all ages here. The older people you see here many times are tourists passing through, coming to see what it's like, or in a lot of cases, someone came to eat at the famous Columbia Spanish restaurant established in 1905, which is on 7th Avenue and 22nd Street. And then they have a stroll down 7th Avenue to check out a bar or two. If you ask a Tampa resident or somebody from St. Pete or Clearwater, most will tell you that they don't normally come down here. If they're over 25, 30, they don't really come down here to hang out. They probably have their own places that they figured out they like better. But if you have somebody visiting, you usually take them down here, even if it's earlier in the day, or especially to go to the Columbia restaurant. It's a really famous place. So you would come down here, go to the restaurant, and take a stroll down and show them the street, maybe pop into a bar or see some bar with live music or karaoke or something like that, because they have both. And even though this area is being built up, it can still be kind of dangerous at night, so that's probably why a lot of the older people stay away. This is filmed around 1 o'clock in the morning, and you can see over here on the left, there's a little hole in the wall pizza place selling pizza for $3.50 a slice, $4 for a pepperoni slice. A little expensive, especially for Florida. I mean, those are kind of New York prices, but if you're out here drinking and you want something to soak up that alcohol, the best place to go is get you a slice or two of pizza. And so because of this, there are, I don't know, I think 4 or 5 pizza places on this strip here, and they all claim to have New York style pizza, and they kind of do. I mean, the pizza's pretty good. There's a lot of people from New York living in Florida, so I wouldn't doubt that some of these places are run by people who had a pizza place in New York or something like that. But anyway, the pizza's pretty good down here, and the key is that you can buy it by the slice, because almost any pizza place in Florida, you cannot buy a pizza by the slice. You can't just go up and ask for a slice. You have to buy the whole pie. So there's a good option over here to get something to eat, and they are open very late. The bars and clubs here close at 3 o'clock, so I think the pizza places are also open until 3. So up ahead, there's some kind of police action going on. It's not uncommon on this street on a weekend night, and usually the later you get, the crazier things that happen. So let's see what's going on here. For some reason, they have a lot of police cars here, but I don't really see anything going on except for one girl that seems to be the focus of attention and is getting arrested, or at least is getting put in handcuffs and shoved in the police car there on the corner. I'm not sure if you can see her, but you see her head there and there's a police officer next to her, and she's going to put her in the car. Funny thing is, you'll see when I finish walking the end of this block and come back, you see what happens to this to this girl that's getting put in the police car. I'm not sure what's going on, but kind of strange. I don't know. So here is a club called Prana, and it is a big club. I think there's multiple levels, even a rooftop bar or something like that. So it's one of these clubs where every level has a different kind of music, and there's always, a line of people going in here. So it looks like to be one of the bigger clubs on this street. I believe there's 3 or 4 other clubs on this street, so I'm pretty sure there's something for everybody in terms of the kinds of music or whatever they want to listen to. And just coming down this street is interesting if you want to people watch. There's all kinds of strange or weird things you might see walking up and down here, as you'll see. Speaking of weird things, I stopped to look at this Jeep that looks to have something welded to its hood. It looks almost like an axe or something like that, like a fireman's axe. And a second after I look at it, I turn around and this is what I see coming towards me over here. uh, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if that's a common thing or this guy's just, I don't know, doing it as a joke so his friends could videotape it or what, but that's kind of some of the weird stuff you see down here. So here's another club. I think this is some kind of gay club or something, I'm not sure, but it has a pretty long line here. A lot of people hanging out front. And here's what looks to be another club over here on the left, or some kind of music venue or something, not really sure. I think it might be a music venue. And here on the right is some street music venue. These 2 girls seem to like dancing on the street without their shoes on better than, I guess, being inside the club. Or maybe they already did the club and now they just want to dance outside on the street for a while till they sober up or something. Who knows? So also you see there's a lot of cigar shops, and the reason for this is that the history of Ybor City is in cigar manufacturing, and so it's part of the reason why it has a kind of old vibe to it. It looks like, to me, at least the first time I came down here, looks kind of like the kind of buildings or the look of Mardi Gras in New Orleans. These old buildings with these balconies on the second floor. So Ybor City was started by and is named after uh, a man from Spain who was a cigar manufacturer and came down here and bought a whole large area and started manufacturing cigars. So this area became a big manufacturing area for other cigar makers, and so because of that, a lot of people from Cuba, Spain, and Italy came down here to work in this area in the cigar industry. So that's why there's also a lot of cigar shops with that old school kind of old Florida or Cuban influenced look to them as well. And also there was a Ben Affleck movie a few years ago, I think 2016, called Live by the Night. And that was a 1930s gangster movie, kind of post-prohibition, and it was supposed to take place here in Florida in Ybor City, even though it was actually filmed in Georgia, where they recreated this street on a set in Georgia. Also, Tampa and Ybor have a history of the Italian mafia in this area, and so maybe that adds to some of the mystique that brings people over here just to check out this place. So here you see the cops are still here. Don't know why they need so many of them right there, but still doing something. Across the street, Club Prana, multi-level. I think it's 5 levels this place has. So still at probably 115, 130, it's still going. And these cops are still taking up this whole street. And what's interesting here is when you see what happens to the girl that they had in the police car. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 cop cars still here. So that girl that was sitting in the back seat, open the door, and let her out. Take the handcuffs off. No, this video's not going in reverse. They're taking the handcuffs off now. Maybe she has a really, 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 really good lawyer. So that's it. Obviously, she didn't get arrested, basically. So what they did was they detained her because of they suspected something, and maybe they're investigating or trying to figure out the story while they keep her in the car in handcuffs. And at the end of whatever they investigated or whoever they talked to, they probably didn't have enough to arrest her, so she gets to go home tonight. So here's some more bars on the left. And there is also a Coyote Ugly bar up ahead. It's kind of a chain bar based on the movie Coyote Ugly, I guess. And that's where they get the name from. Here it is right here. I kind of peeked in. I didn't see any bartenders dancing on the bar or something like they do in the movie, so I don't know. I don't know what you can expect if you come in here, but it seems to me just kind of like a regular bar, like any other place, really. And here is another pizza place, still going strong at this time of night, still making pizzas, still a bunch of people in there. So as I walk down the street, there's about a block or so more of these bars. I have to turn the volume way down because of all the music you can hear, and it's all copyright music that I can't play on YouTube. So this guy with his Toyota Corolla with the rims here has a trunk full of speakers and amps blasting some Latino music. And these other bars here across the street, it's kind of an outside kind of bar slash dance venue, and so their music is blasting too, so all of this stuff would get into my video, and I'd probably get a copyright strike. So this is what this looks like. Another bar here on the left, and another open air kind of bar with a dance area outside here. This looks pretty good. A lot of people, no cover. You can't go wrong. So there's still a few more places across the street that are still open and still going, and I'm heading back towards where I started from, towards around 20th Street. And to top it off, here is this dude again. Well, before I run into this guy for a third time, I'm going to end this video. And before I go out, I'm going to show you a little clip of the Columbia Spanish restaurant that's really famous over here. It's been around since 1905, and that's just 2 blocks up on the corner of 22nd Street and 7th Avenue. So that's my video on what Ybor City looks like on a Friday night. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.